Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is your host with the most, King Geo. How you guys doing? Today is Wacky Monday. Gotta be Wacky Monday, right? How you guys Memorial Day is going? Today's Memorial Day, so we commemorate all those people who have served, those people who have who died for this country. I can remember my father telling me that my uncle went to war at Vietnam at 18 years old and never came home. Got drafted from Puerto Rico. Here we are. Puerto Rico fights to become the 51st state, and my uncle, born and raised in Puerto Rico, and the tender age of 18 years old, gets drafted to Vietnam War and never comes home. But anyway, that's what it is. So our salute goes to all those men and women who are serving, and all those men and women who have died in combat. Guys, don't forget on Wednesday, I have a special guest. His name is Edward Martel. Look him up on Facebook. This is a gentleman who is a good story to tell. It's a story for if you have kids, if you have your nephews or in the wrong way, whoever it is in your family that you think they can benefit from this story. But this man changed his life around. And the funny thing is that the same judge that sentenced him is the judge that sworn him in as a lawyer. How ironic is that, right? The judge that sentenced you to do prison time or jail time is the one that years later is the same judge that swears you in for you to become a lawyer. So that's going to be interesting. I want to see how this man turned his life around. So that's Wednesday at 8 o'clock, 8 Eastern Standard Time. His name is Edward Martel. For those who are subscribed to my channel, you're going to get a notification. Those who haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. All right. So today I want to talk about something that's interesting, right? So here is the right wing. Okay, this is my right. So you can be left. This is the right wing, right? As you all know, I stood off this topic for a week and a half. So I was going to stay off of it for a while because I didn't want to mention it. But for those who've been following the media in the United States and those who are in the United States and those who are in the state of Texas, here we have the governor a few weeks ago signed a bill, the heartbeat ban bill, that prevents a woman from having an abortion once the heartbeat of the fetus is detected. So that can be anything between 6 weeks, right? So here they are. This is what I'm talking about. You should never mix religion with anything else. Here you are. You have a state of Texas saying that you're a woman. We are going to control your body. You cannot have an abortion, right? You cannot have an abortion. So this is the right way telling you what you can't do with your body, right? This is what they're telling you. What you can't do with your body, right? What you can't do with your body. That's the funny thing. And then they go around and they say, well, you can't tell us what to do. We don't have to wear masks. Our body, our choice. Think about that. Our body, our choice. But then they go again and they tell people, hey, you cannot have an abortion. So they're telling you what you can do, and they tell you what you can't do. Okay. And then yesterday, the infamous Ted Cruz came out and said, it's your choice. Check this out. He said it's your choice whether you want to get vaccinated or not. A few weeks ago, I think 2 months ago, a month and a half ago to 2 months ago, Ted Cruz in the Senate said that he was not going to get vaccinated. So 2 weeks ago, Ted Cruz said he was, 2 months ago, month and a half, 2 months ago, he said he was not going to get vaccinated. Yesterday, he comes out and he says that he put forth a bill that lets the people decide whether they want to get vaccinated or not, because he already got vaccinated. 2 months ago, he said he wasn't. Now he says he's going to that he got vaccinated, and now he's saying that it's up to the people if they decide to get vaccinated. And this is what he said: it's your body. So if you are saying that a person, it's a person's choice to get vaccinated or not, it's a person's choice to wear a mask or not, but you're saying that it's the government's choice to say that you cannot have an abortion. Do I think that schools should be able to force kids to go to school even if the parents aren't comfortable? They're your kids. You decide to do what you want with them. I mean, I understand that a lot of kids are not benefiting. A lot of kids are not benefiting from being at home. I know a lot of kids that are not benefiting. Mine was one of them. And I know kids need interaction, but so many things has gone. How so many things has gone wrong. You understand? Had this been handled properly from the beginning, then that question shouldn't have been. You would have never. I mean, you would have never asked me that question, hippie. And welcome to my channel, hippie. You would have asked me that because we would have had control of it. We could have probably closed everything down in one shot and then opened something differently, or we could have told from the beginning wear masks, but that didn't happen. So the question here is, do you feel comfortable? Do you feel comfortable sending your kid to school, not knowing? Hey, what's up, Metro? Not knowing that a child next to your child could have it, the teacher could have it, and then bring it on to you. So those are things that you got to think about. Those are things that parents think about. I'm at a job. You know how many people have come to my job from January all the way to March? I must have seen over 100 different family members, over 100 different family come through my job because they came for a funeral for someone who passed away from COVID. Last week, a week and a half ago, I had a woman who buried her brother, 62 years old, because of COVID complication. He got COVID. He got over COVID, and then a month later, things started going bad, and lasted 4 or 5 days. My sister's best friend, her daughter's boyfriend had COVID, and he brought it over. She got sick. She lasted 4 days, guys. 4 days, and then she passed away. She didn't want to go to the hospital. She said she's gonna die. She wants to tap in the house, and that's what she did. And that's what she did. So here we are having this, this built thing. The Republicans like to say democracy. This is not democracy when you have a Congress telling you, a member of Congress or all Congress tell you what you can't do, what you can't do with your body. What you can't do with your body. But they tell you it's okay for you it's your choice to wear a mask, it's your choice to get vaccinated, but it's not your choice. It's not, remember this, it's not your choice to have an abortion. It's okay if you want to wear a mask and you have the coronavirus and you can infect other people. That's okay. No problem. But you cannot have an abortion. And it's kind of scary. Here we are a few months ago before elections, weren't the Republicans telling you they're taking away your rights? They're taking away your Second Amendment rights. Has anyone come knocking on your door taking your guns away? No. As your right as an American citizen, your freedom of speech, have any of that been taken away? No. But yet they fuel you with all this mongering fear that this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and nothing happened. And nothing happened. And you guys believe everything that these people say. Yeah, I'm telling you. I want to show you what Ted Cruz said, so you can know.
You're worried that people will be discriminated against.
Wait.
You're worried.
I want you to hear this, guys. This is not me making it up.
That people will be discriminated against based on whether or not they've had the vaccine.
Look, that's exactly right. Listen, I think vaccines are terrific. I've had the vaccine myself. I think it's given us a lot of freedom. But I think there's a real potential for government overreach. And I don't believe anyone should be forced to take the vaccine. It should be your personal choice. You should make the choice based on your health, based on the decisions you want. And so I've introduced this week legislation that would, number one, prohibit any federal vaccine passport, prohibit the Biden administration from doing anything to mandate vaccines, but it also prohibits discrimination in employment. We're seeing some places where employers are saying, if you're not vaccinated, you're fired, and that ought to be illegal. Your health decisions are yours to make, and it shouldn't be your boss, it shouldn't be the government, it shouldn't be anyone else forcing you to make those decisions.
Oh, nothing.
So you see how he contradicts himself. Mind you, go look at YouTube and look at a video that he made. He was he was in Congress and he said, I'm not getting vaccinated. That's what he said. Now he's saying he got vaccinated. Then he said that he signed the bill for no abortion, and now he's saying it's your body, your choice. Isn't that kind of contradictory? And Stanley said you can't have an abortion, but women can have implants. I know, because you know what it is, Stanley, is that we're living in an age where so-called evangelists are getting into the politics of things. So whenever you have a group of 100 million whatever evangelists saying to you, listen, you cannot have an abortion or we're not going to give you our votes. That's 100 million votes. I'm just giving you an example. Or 10 million or 1 million. You're not going to get our votes. So they'll go by that. They'll go by that. Yeah, just so that's what I'm trying to say. So he contradicts himself, and all the right wings do. You know, like Stanley said, you can have an abortion, but you can have implants. That's part of my body. So if I want to have an implant to enhance or whatever the case may be, I can do that, right? I can have a tattoo if I want to, right? And then what he's talking about, that it shouldn't be your boss's decision about the federal passport. He's talking about because last week there were 100 workers in Dallas, Texas, or somewhere in Texas, who sued the Methodist Hospital because they mandated that the workers that work there have to be vaccinated. And these people don't understand that that's a health issue. You know, we're not going to get rid of COVID. COVID's here to stay for a while. Just because the numbers are going down doesn't mean that the virus is not here. Okay, that doesn't mean that. It does not mean that. So you still should protect yourself. Just because you get vaccinated doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to carry the COVID vaccine. I mean, you're not going to be able to carry COVID, or you can't pass COVID. So this is what I'm talking about. So we live in this great nation that we say, you know, a lot of people like the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press. You know, there are other places, there are other democratic countries out there who do have freedom of speech and does have freedom of the press and does have freedom of religion. We're not the only country in the world that has democracy. There's a lot of countries out there who has democracy. Okay? So let's get that out of our heads, that America is the greatest country there is in the world. Because you have not been to other parts of the world where you could say it is the best place in the world to live. That's what you may think. That's what I may think. But we haven't been to other parts of the world. So we don't, to make that assertion is kind of hard. That's kind of hard. So you could do a lot of things in this country that you can't do in other countries. But if you go to England, you do the same thing. You go to France, you do the same thing. You go to Italy, you do the same thing. There are other countries that you just can't do it because the government is up to par as a developed country is. A lot of people, a lot of right wings talk about, Donald Trump went to North Korea and he walked alone. And of course, he walked alone. He was a Jim Kim. Who can't walk alone with that man? Or that Jim Kim respected us when Donald Trump was there. But let me tell you something, buddy. North Korea doesn't do shit unless China tells it to. The president of North Korea may throw this, may throw that, but that's all under the orders of China. He knows it. North Korea does not move unless China tells him to. He knows that. And he knows that he got China's backup. But who, in the world of this, who has China's back? You can't go to war with China. You can, but you don't want to. Because this is not about war. This is about us as a society. In this country, like I said, in this country, we, just what is it? We're in the month of June. Look how many mass shooting we have. Mass shooting, and yet there's still people being abused by officers. People are being killed by officers, and yet we don't have any law that's going to reform our police. Nothing. But the Asians, not got nothing against Asians, but the Asians within months, they got an Asian anti-hate bill. They got that passed. So this is and Biden ran on the premise of that he was going to reform the police, that he was going to do this, and he was going to do that, but he has not done anything. At least he hasn't indicated. And when people do that, when people get put into office, people want results quick. But Biden does not know. Even if he doesn't do anything, and come out and he dies, or it can be, and Kamala Harris becomes president, nothing's going to happen to Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is going to be out if no one does anything for the black community. If no one does anything for the minority community, you're not going to get voted back in. I'm sorry. It's time that these Democrats stop selling people dreams. Republicans don't sell you dreams; they just tell you the truth. When they do say they're going to tell you, when they do say something, they do the opposite. Like in 4 years, did not Donald Trump say that he was going to come out with a health plan? Never did. Didn't he say that Mexico was going to pay for a war, which we all knew that was never going to happen, because no country's going to pay for something that you're going to build. So for people to believe that, they're fools. But did that ever happen? No. Right? You see, he made so many promises that just didn't happen, don't he? The only thing that happened was that he got Jerusalem, that the embassy was moved back into Jerusalem, and it was only because he was pressured by Jews. That's all it was. Okay? That's all it was. Think about that. So, for him to say he did a lot of big things for the black community, he never did. That he got black unemployment down, no, he never did, because he never did anything specifically for the black community. Black people just decided to work. They figured, they said, you know what, Donald Trump is president, so it's something different, so let's go to work. We might get incentivized. That's it. We didn't do anything specifically, right? Right? Unemployment, he inherited in unemployment. That's what people don't see. That's what. So that's why. So other Republicans. What do you mean by that, Stanley? So they never did anything. He never did anything. He added to a deficit. He spent more money on military than he did anything else. Hi, got that, Eddie. Yes, I do agree with people have to be instead of being on welfare, they should be on workfare. This thing about everybody should go to college for free. No, everybody should not go to college for free, because everybody doesn't want to go to college. But I do believe that we should steer more towards vocational, towards a trade, towards people getting, electricians, HVAC, construction, all that, infrastructures. I think people, beauty salons, hair, barbers, something like that, aircraft mechanic. Those are the things that we need. And if that person, if another person wants to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, hey, by all means, go for it. But to, back maybe back in the 70s or early 80s, that thing that you should go to college and and a college degree is going to get you somewhere. Maybe that was true. I never seen it, but that's not true no more. I mean, most people that go to a college and they get their bachelor's usually don't end up doing what they graduated, and that's a fact. So that may help you in that field, but that's not going to guarantee you that you're going to get a job. That's not going to guarantee you that. That's not going to guarantee you that. But society, schools want you to think that way. Your mother, hey, you go to college. College is not for everybody. So so instead of focusing on free colleges, we should focus on other things that we can get our kids involved in. You know, let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know, but if you can take your kid now, if you can get them some sort of coding class, computer coding, it's excellent. It's excellent, computer coding. Cybersecurity, another field that you can go into. You can do that for you can take a couple of classes for a couple of months. You can get some kind of certification, and then when you work with a company, have that company, you work more for that company, you get more experience, and boom. Cybersecurity is where it's going to be in the future, because everyone's going to want to, as everything's becoming more electronic, credit cards, everything. So there's going to be more hackers out there, and big companies want to protect their investments. They want to protect their ideas. There's a lot of things they want to protect. So you go for cybersecurity, which is a great thing to do. It's a great thing to do. So I'm all for that. I mean, I'm all for getting our kids, our young brains to, like I said, to become electricians, to become plumbers, because I mean, to become something, because a trade is something you have that no one can take it away from you. No one. So that's a good thing to have, because you become a plumber, you become an electrician. You can do that. You can do that as a side hustle. You can. You don't have to worry about that. So it's a good thing. So, Stanley, what were you saying about the Republicans? You said so are the Republicans. I mean, if you look at both parties are full of bullshit. More Republicans than Democrats. But the funny thing is that I was just, talking about Ted Cruz, how the Republicans in Texas, they very hypocrite. They don't want you to get an abortion, but it's okay. It's the wording that he said. Your body, your choice. But yet you signed a bill saying that you can't have an abortion. But you just said your body, your choice for the vaccine. You can't have your cake and eat it at the same time, guys. That doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Well, anyway, guys. Well, thank you for joining to my channel. Tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when we're going to talk more. All right. And don't forget Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have Mr. Edward Martell. We're going to have him tell his story. He was, I don't know his whole entire story. I have to dig into it, but it's an inspirational story. When I read about him, a little story about him, it touched me, because it's an inspiring story. It gives parents and it gives people hope that, we do make mistakes and we learn from our mistakes, and we should, once you make that mistake, you can rectify it by not doing it again, and you move on, and you move on for better and bigger things. And this is what this gentleman did. And, like I said, he went in front of a judge. He told the judge, give me a couple of years, I think it is. And he went back, after he got arrested, he went back in front of that same judge, and that judge swore him in as a lawyer. It's a story, and a great story to have, because, we're all bound to make mistakes in life. And as long as we learn from our mistakes, don't make the same mistake twice. That can go through anything. It can go relationship, it can go in your job, it can with anything that you do in life. Mistakes are made to be made. Mistakes are made to be made. As long as you learn from them, and that's the. All right, guys. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a blessed day.